Dear, oh dear, Pep Guardiola. Watch this video. Hello, welcome to On Me Edson. I hope you're all well. So Pep Guardiola, Manchester City, they kind of stopped the rot last night where they went into the Champions League and they were winning 3-0 with about 15-20 minutes to go. Then all of a sudden they completely lost the plot, capitulated, and the opposition came back at them and got 3 goals to draw 3-3. Yes, those plucky boys from Holland, Feyenoord, came to the Etihad, and yeah, they're all out of sorts. Then all of a sudden they had a roaring success, one final push, and they really stuck it on Man City. Now Pep Guardiola comes out afterwards. He's got scratches all over his head. He's wondering what the hell is going on, dazed and confused, and probably dazed and confused while the owners of Man City have just given him a new contract extension, when all of a sudden it seems to be going completely Pete Tong at Man City. Now, what is the problem, Man City? I've always said, if you watch my videos from the past, and if you know when I used to do other football videos on other channels, I'd always say about Man City, they can easily be got at. They can easily be got at. This is even when they're in their pomp, right? And I'm not just talking about now. They can easily be got at, and any team can easily be got at if you put a high ball, let's say, over the defence, especially out to the wings, that turns the defence. If you've got runners going through the defence in a timely fashion, then all of a sudden, any defence is going to be put under pressure, especially when your left back or your right back or your wing backs are starting to lose a little bit of pace, or if they're out of form. If you can do that, then all of a sudden that creates uncertainty in any team, and that would certainly create uncertainty in Man City. I've seen it with my own eyes, where Man City came to West Ham about 3 seasons ago, and it ended up in a draw, but West Ham had 2 goals, of winning 2-0, and they could have actually won the game. And the reason why they scored 2 goals is because they turned the defence. Teams have started to acknowledge this now. 5 losses on the bounce, then they've just got this draw. It isn't looking good for Pep Guardiola. They got embarrassingly thrashed at the weekend by Tottenham. Now they're facing champions-elect, potentially in Liverpool at the weekend. Can they turn it around? But Pep Guardiola is just not looking happy about it. Now, you would imagine that all of a sudden there's going to be some harsh words behind the scenes, whether in the dressing room or certainly from the ownership to Pep Guardiola, to say, what the hell is going on here? We're losing games. We're winning the game comfortably. Then all of a sudden we completely capitulate right at the end. Now, you could say there's injuries. You could say there's players out of form, but that's for any teams like that. And you would imagine that with the strength that they've got, the strength in depth and the resources at their disposal, then all of a sudden you can't just miss one player, then all of a sudden if there's a problem. They can't just be missing Rodri, then all of a sudden that's the glue that holds it all together. Yeah, there's a reason he's just won the world's best player, but surely there's got to be something else here that could stop this rot. Maybe it's going to come at the weekend. Maybe Pep Guardiola is going to be able to turn Man City around. They're going to make them a danger going to Liverpool. Maybe this is what they become. They become that wounded animal, and there's nothing more dangerous than a wounded animal. When you think that you're easily going to beat them, then all of a sudden they turn around and bite you. And this is potentially what could be happening here. But fundamentally, they got problems all over the pitch here in terms of lacking in pace. Walker, not looking great. Guardiola making lots of mistakes. Central midfield, not resolute enough. They seem to be off the pace slightly. They're missing lots of chances. It's not as if they're not creating chances. They're missing lots and lots of chances. So on another day, in another situation, they probably score 4 or 5 goals. But because they're missing those opportunities, and if you don't score and then the other team scores against you, all of a sudden it creates a problem. They're at this situation now, Man City, where many teams face, in that they could be playing quite well. Then as soon as they concede, then all of a sudden everybody on the pitch starts getting nervous, and they'll start to concede even more. And this is where Man City are vulnerable, just like any team who've had their day in the sun. They will play against teams, and it's just the natural aura of Manchester City. In this case, Man United of the past had it, Liverpool of the past had it, where they'll come up against teams and other teams will just be fearful to play against them. And they will just win by a mental approach, just by that mental advantage that they would have over another team. Of course, they were better teams anyway, but half the battle was that mental defeat that teams were having to face against the Manchester United of the day, Liverpool of the day, and now Manchester City. Now teams are seeing there's a big kink in the armour. Now teams are seeing, actually, we can get at Manchester City. We can take the game to them, and they're not really firing all cylinders. Now let's just see what Pep Guardiola does. You know, can he turn it around at Manchester City? I'm sure he can. He's the best manager in the world. It's always the same thing with best managers in the world. Can they do it at a championship team? Can they do it at a lower league team? Can they do it at a team without any resources? Here's the interesting thing now. They've got lots of injuries. They've got lots of square pegs in round holes right now. Let's just see if he can turn it around and show his true worth to the club and also to football in general. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here, well, just keep on watching the videos and I'll catch you again. Bye now.